Good morning. Can you tell me a little bit about your artistic practice in Teesside?
Sure, yeah. So I'm a dance artist predominantly. I've done teaching, choreography, performing, and then also I do little bits of singing, a bit more presenting work as well more recently. Um, so yeah, I've been freelance for just over a year now. Um, Previous to that, I was in full-time employment working as a dance development officer, so developing community dance. And then, yeah, for the past year, I've been doing such a wide range of things within the industry. Yeah.
So have you always been a dancer from a young age?
Yeah, pretty much. I went to dance classes as a child, like 7, 8. I was also doing gymnastics. And then I would say when I was around 16, I realised that I wanted to do that as my career and not just a hobby. And then I went and did a degree in contemporary dance. So that's kind of where my training started professionally.
Brilliant. So do you obviously you teach? I'm really interested to know how where you've performed, whether you collaborate with other people, the people that you teach. What are their interests in it? Is it just a hobby for them, or do they intend to go on and be involved in a professional capacity?
So from my performance life, I've got like yeah, maybe 8 years now of performing experience. And I've done that internationally. The biggest names probably are things like I worked at Hong Kong Disneyland for a couple of years as a parade dancer, so that was a great experience. And then I've done performance work in hotels, theme parks, holiday parks. I've done all of that kind of commercial stuff, as well as things in the UK like theatre tours and stuff a bit more physical theatre, stuff like that. So I've done quite a wide range, and that feeds into my teaching. Because I've studied and done quite a fair amount of different styles, I enjoy teaching a lot of different styles. So I teach contemporary, jazz, I've done ballet, hip hop, um, yeah, quite a lot of styles and also a lot of ages. So the youngest I probably taught is 2.5 years old, mother and baby type class. And then I've done all the way through to adults. And yeah, like you say, I've done teaching for community stuff that's more for fun or creative expression. And then I've also done a little bit in schools and stuff that's a bit more developing technique. And hopefully some of those young people will go on into the profession as well.
Brilliant. So like last year on my project, I interviewed Jennifer Essex. I guess I got her contact through because I was at Teesside University, so I think that's how it came. But you mentioned to me that you feel that maybe dance is a little bit overlooked in Teesside and doesn't have as much of a voice as the other creative arts. What
Yeah.
is and what can we do about it?
Yeah, I think it's true. I think people often think of like music and yeah, being a little bit more of a valid art form. I think that's been true for a long time, and I do think that dance is progressing. But it's still got that stigma of it being a bit of a wishy-washy, fun and games type thing, when actually there's a lot of value to what dance can bring to people's lives. So I think it's platforms like this that are giving dancers a voice, and also recently the Tees Dance Festival um, that was organised. That was a fab thing that pulled together like 14 I think, different artists or dance schools in the area. So I'm quite new to this scene. We moved to the area a few years ago, but as I said, I've been working internationally and stuff, so I keep dipping in and out. So since lockdown, really, I've found myself here, locked down in the area. So it's been really good that that festival kind of allowed me to connect virtually, obviously, at the moment with other artists in the area, and hopefully there'll be some room for collaboration, which can only strengthen, I guess, our people's awareness of dancers and stuff in the area.
Absolutely. So what's your how's it going to work with lockdown? Is there any uh, path to getting back out there? Is it going to have to be outdoors? How are you going to get
Yeah, I think it
since?
will be slow steps. definitely for myself, coming from performing nearly every week or whatever last year, and knowing really that's going to take some time, I'm happy to really invest now in my community dance practice, which I'd had like a bit of a break from. So yeah, I think now that I've gone and done these other things, I can bring that experience and yeah, build some community projects. I did an online project during lockdown, which was I taught like a little simple choreography to a wide range of people online. And then they sent me their videos, and then it's been edited and put together. It's called Together Apart, and you can see it on YouTube. But I would love to try and recreate that now in real life. And yeah, if that has to take place in the safest way, probably outside, outdoors, then yeah, I'm happy to explore that next.
Brilliant. I mean, I'm just thinking, you know, I'm pretending to be at Teesside University at the moment, and kind of think maybe they've got all that space. Might be a good idea of a kind of performance zone that we could inhabit. So obviously, I'm thinking of all the different creative arts and performing arts and how we get back. I'm not quite sure why you're not allowed to do theatre. I
know.
Victory. But that's the situation we find ourselves in. So obviously I'm just trying to find ways of getting out of this kind of web that we're in. Can you mentioned that you've made this piece, you mentioned that you have this practice. Are there dance centres around Teesside where, like a kind of permanent centre where things are happening? Because I haven't seen any.
No, I mean, again, because I'm quite new to the dance community in this area, I'm not really aware of locations. For myself, I've been really lucky in that I live next door to a village hall, and they've been quite generous over lockdown. I've had the keys and I could go in and do my own practice. So that's been nice to have a space that I can go in and freely move and yeah, get going. But for the future, I'm not really sure. Yeah, I have to see, and I'll have to do a bit more research, I guess, as well into what might be an option for me to do.
Yeah, well, I'll certainly keep my eyes open. I know in the visual arts, there's been quite a movement towards taking over empty shop buildings, things like that. I think there's some kind of deal with the council whereby landlords get a big discount on their business rates if they allow artists and people into their studios. I just think I had Thomas Cook's old unit last year as part of an artist residency on Captain Cook Square. It wasn't a huge place, but I think you could probably do some dancing there, and it's very, very public, so it would definitely help raise awareness of dance in Teesside. I'm just thinking, you know, maybe not as a permanent space, but I don't think it's occupied still, and maybe we could speak to the good people at Captain Cook Square who are very nice.
Yeah.
Find out what's happening with it at the moment, because my artist residency was only supposed to be one weekend, but the leases, the mini leases, are a minimum of 7 weeks. So I had it all that time. So let me speak to them, and please send me links of this piece that you've made, and just keep me informed of anything that you're doing, and I'll try and do what I can to help out.
The project, we called it Together Apart, but the original project is called Doorway Dancing, and it's everything was.
Sorry, you're a little bit quiet there. Can you say that again?
Yeah, it's okay. So the piece is called Together Apart, but the original project name was Doorway Dancing, and so everything takes place in doorways. So I mean, in terms of doing that in a public space as well, it'd be quite nice to go out and find some interesting doorways and recreating it, obviously, like you say, in real life. A little bit further. That's my ideas at the moment.
Oh, well, maybe I need to talk to you. I've got this project that I'm thinking about at the moment. I don't know if you know about all the alleyways in Middlesbrough that have been done up by the local residents.
Yeah,
it's an absolutely lovely scheme. So at the moment, I'm kind of thinking about a way to celebrate that, either by getting the residents involved in writing their own poetry, short stories, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
or just putting a road show together. So we just rock up and perform for them as a kind of thank you to them and celebration of the work they've been doing. So
Okay, great.
that's something that maybe we can talk about after this.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been lovely to talk to you, and
You
and let's raise the voice of dance on Teesside.
thank you. Yeah.
Brilliant. Take care.
Cheers.